Hey, it's Michael Saul, but everybody calls me Tiny, and this video is Launchpad. Happy Memorial Day, plus a stock to watch this week. Probably not the one you're thinking. This is stock market analysis for the week of May 28th, 2018. Two quick announcements. If you would like to receive intra-week updates from me, go to www.attackthemarkets.com, put in your first name, your best email address, then follow the directions. You got to go to the email you use to sign up, click on a link in there so that we know it's you and not some nefarious robot or cretin going around using your name and email to sign up. Okay? Second, if you would like to join the Facebook group, go to www.facebook.com/groups/attackthemarkets. Answer 3 simple questions and you will be in the group. Let's talk about the title of today's video. And the first part is Launchpad. And I'm talking about this little consolidation here. So we had the blue lines, which I think they are encompassing a fourth wave triangle. Third wave up, fourth wave triangle. From here we go up to new all-time highs. We broke out of the triangle a few weeks ago, whatever you want to call it, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, because you got this little dip back down, so then we got back up above it. But since then, all we've managed to do is go sideways. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. We are in midterm election year. May is one of the worst months historically. Doesn't mean it has to happen every time, okay? I use seasonality as a backdrop, not as a timing indicator. Okay, anyway, so May is usually one of the worst months of the midterm election year, and so far we have not been down, okay? We were down for a little bit, which is fine, just a normal dip, and we still held the 200-day moving average, and since then we've just been sideways. Now, there's a lot of news going on, and nothing is really dramatic. This past week, the summit was canceled with North Korea, and the president had come out at the beginning of the week saying, hey, you know what, the trade war has been averted, and then later on in the week talking about a tariff on automotives. So there's a lot of crosswinds going on, and if it sounds like I'm really not sure what's going on, I don't really care as much as price action, right? News is still secondary to me. I know it matters, I know it's important, but I'm always trying to look for price action first. And the way we're set up here, okay, either an alleviation of bad news or some good news can spark this, or no news, right, could spark this, and we can start going higher. Can we move to the downside? Of course we can. Okay, volatility trumps direction. That's my favorite saying. So the fact that we have wound down to a point of low volatility, this means we have to be ready for a move either way. But the directional tendency, I don't want to call it, I guess I could call it a bias. I mean, we're over the key moving averages. We're outside of this triangle. It points to the upside. But again, I'm not sitting here 100%. We're absolutely going to the upside. That's foolish. Some people say, well, you're just sitting on the fence. Yep. If there is a volatility contraction like this, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not in the guessing game. Okay, I want the odds in my favor, because guess what? If we break out here and I say, okay, that's my signal and I go long, it can still turn around and fail. There's plenty of fake breakouts. Same thing on the downside, okay? But at least I'm giving it, I'm stacking the odds in my favor that I'm waiting for a low volatility situation to break one way or the other in order to get in, okay? Any questions, you can always drop me an email at tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Let's go through the other indices. Here's the Dow. It's similar. It's acting a little bit weaker. That's fine. I'm more than fine with that. Here's the mid caps. Okay, they're consolidating. Here's the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, it's not really a bull flag because it's in the middle of a bigger range. It's more of a consolidation, but again, and then you got the Russell, which popped up to new highs, came up, started to pull back a little bit, but again, they're over their previous highs for the year. Okay? So, yes, I mean, the Russell, in my opinion, is still looking the strongest, even though it pulled back here. It did hold the previous resistance here, so now we want to see if the buyers will come back in. Semiconductors. Yep, nice move on Friday, broke out of this little range, so let's see if the semis can get in tune. Here's KLA Tanker, popped a little, but then came back. NVIDIA came out the bottom of its coil, but now it looks like it may do a little pendulum move back. Here's Intel. Okay, Intel consolidating here. Let's see if that can break here. But Intel looking okay. Here's ADI. Again, it's more choppy than anything, but it doesn't look like a short signal to me. All right, here's the banks. Banks are not acting as well as they should. They held the 50-day moving average, got a little bit of a bounce. Here's Bank of America, JP Morgan. Yeah, they look similar, not so great. Citigroup doesn't look good at all. Looks like it wants to revisit the lows. How about like a stock like Northern Trust? Okay, showing some better relative strength. Or a Zion showing better relative strength as well. Goldman is a broker, but it acts like a bank. And notice that it pivoted off the 200-day. Now we want to see, is it putting a higher low in here? Is it going to get a retest down there? If we look at the broker-dealer, we see it came to the 20. All right, so you look at stocks like Interactive Brokers. It's a nice-looking bull flag right there. Okay, let's see if, I don't know why for some reason. Okay, there we go. All right. How about the biotechs? So the biotechs, it's not a flag, all right, because this looks impulsive. It looks like an increase in momentum, but really it's just in a big range. But I do like this consolidation here. I do like the consolidation here. So I don't know what's going on with my pointer today, so you'll have to excuse me for a second. All right, so there, it looks okay. Looks like it could start to move. Biogen, I mean, could be trying to carve out a hard bottom, but you got the 200-day moving average above. Gilead, yeah, I mean, it held the 20. It could roll over and go back to the lows. Here's Amgen, sitting right on its 200-day moving average. Let's look at the glamour stocks. Amazon, still holding up. I read an article, somebody telling me Amazon's running into trouble. I don't know. I don't see it here. I definitely don't see a short signal here. Here's Alphabet consolidating here. It's lagging a little bit in the glamour stocks, the FANG, whatever you want to call it this week. But it's not terrible. Not looking terrible. Here's Apple. Yeah. I mean, bear market for Apple. Nah. That's a bull flag up there. How about the Zuckerbook? The Zuckerbook acting okay. Had the consolidation popped out. Now it's in another consolidation. By the way, that's Facebook. For those who don't get my obnoxious sarcasm or don't like my obnoxious sarcasm. How about the Netflix? Yeah, new highs, just rocking and rolling. Again, it's a little extended here, so I'd like to see a pullback before I would like to get in. But, consolidations have been great on this, so keep watching. Caterpillar, still in this sloppy range. You can see like these, like the lines kind of are showing it here. More sloppy than anything. And then you got John Deere, which had the nice push over earnings. It's now consolidating. So John Deere actually looks like a better choice than Caterpillar to me. I'm just throwing these lines in now. It could go right from here, could decide to fill out from here, but I would be watching John Deere. Bonds. Yeah, so bonds are on the bounce. They hit the new lows. Now they're on the bounce, and they've been acting really well. The commodity, the futures, has been acting, contract is acting really well. And so look at the gaps, because this is the New York market, right? So this is an ETF, et cetera. But I mean, look at these gaps. They're buying into it. They're buying into bonds, pushing the yield down. And the market, the stock market, equity market is not reacting yet. That's another reason why I think we have a chance to launch out of here. How about gold? So gold popped up. Watch the 200-day moving average there. GDX, they're really not doing anything. And, of course, the big news Friday was oil getting smacked. Here's the USO down just over 4.25%. OPEC, blah, 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 right? It's something with OPEC. So down to the 50-day moving average here, and also this period, this area of balance. So it could hold in here. But again, you want to see you want to see a trigger here, you want to see a nice reversal, or if you're trading an intraday, you want to see a nice pattern setting up there. All right, so again, it's a long weekend. Happy Memorial Day, by the way, and remember that it's a great time to celebrate and to have good memories of those that have passed, those that have served in the military and have passed away. But again, so I like when people come out and they like to try to diminish it and go, oh, this isn't about barbecues and beers. Well, why not? I mean, they deserve to be celebrated. Okay, and that's why they went there and gave their lives, right? So again, I mean, some people spin it around and use it as a sale and use it as, okay, great. But, it's to honor the fallen heroes in the military, and I think it's a great holiday. Anyway, that's on Monday, so the U.S. market will be closed. And, of course, we can always see a little selling into the end of the month since it is May and maybe even the start of June. But right now, it looks to me like we are setting up to try to push higher here. That's what I'm going to be focusing on, but I'm going to wait for the break. I am going to wait for the break. All right? If it breaks to the downside, I'm not going to be in a rush to short, but I'm going to have to look that way if it gets impulsive and wait for a consolidation or a continuation pattern and then go that way. Okay? But I'm leaning pretty well to the long side, but I'm waiting for a trigger. All right, so stock to watch this week. And one stock that you are probably getting a lot of email about, and this is not the one that I'm going to go over, is GDPR. Okay, GDPR, except GDPR does not exist, right? It is the data protection regulations over in Europe. That's why your email has been flooded with people adjusting their privacy policy. My privacy policy has been adjusted for several weeks because I actually worked with a company that had a solution for how bigger companies can transfer data and be GDPR compliant. So I've been aware of it. But no, that's not the stock, and neither is this. Neither is Goodrich Petroleum, right? But GDPR. I'm seeing it so much, I'm thinking that it's a penny stock pump and dump, but it's not. Okay, the stock that I'm looking at is Blink Charging Company, and Blink was beat up back in February. This is a wild-looking stock, so you gotta just watch it. Let's pull up the volume. Here, I want to show you the volume here. So it's averaging 3.2 million shares, but it can still be wild. Here's the minute chart. A lot of gaps and a lot of spaces. Just keep your eye on this one if you're looking to trade it. But anyway, I love the consolidation right under the 200-day moving average. Now, it doesn't mean it's absolutely going to work and we're going to go back to these highs or anything like that. But what I like about it is when you're wrong really quickly. So if you want to grab it when it breaks the line, that's one thing, or you want to wait to the 200-day, that's another thing. But you want it to, once it gets above that 200-day, you want it to stay there. If it starts coming back down under it, you may have to take, depending on where you got in, a quick scalp or a quick scalp loss, whatever it is. But just keep your eye on this one, because even though it does trade a few million shares on average, it can get a little crazy. But if this is the start of the momentum higher, then I would be watching this to retest this 15 level. It may take a little bit, but just pay attention to it. Okay? Questions? I got answers for you. All you have to do is write to tiny@attackthemarkets.com. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you would like to never miss another video. Give me a thumbs up and leave a comment if you'd like, but I appreciate the thumbs up. Comments are optional, of course, but I like you to leave a comment. I like the interaction. Join the email list. Join the Facebook group. Have a wonderful Memorial Day. I will talk to you either in the intra-week updates or in next week's video or in the Facebook group.